Hey people, it is Wednesday, October the 19th, and it is 1:50 in the afternoon, and it's a chilly 8 degrees Celsius, and I am on Dundas St West in the west end of Toronto, just coming into a neighborhood known as the Junction. And I just finished a live stream nearby, so I thought, why not walk along Dundas St West through the main retail strip here of the Junction, and I'll make my way down to Dundas West subway station. It's been a while since I've done a Junction walk. I think it was winter time last time I was in the area, last winter. And it looks like this house will be coming down to make way for an 8-story mid-rise residential building. So this western end of the Junction is also known as Little Malta. We're not quite in the heart of the Junction. That's several blocks east of here. And the Junction at one time was a separate community from Toronto, its own city called West Toronto. And that was annexed by the neighboring city of Toronto in the early 20th century. And over the years, the neighborhood has gone through several phases, fell into disrepair and bit down on its heels, leading up through the 1980s and into the 90s. And then in more recent years, it's been given a bit of a rejuvenation by new residents moving into the area. And the main Dundas Street strip in the heart of the Junction is now fairly healthy and leaning towards upscale little shopping strip with lots of bars and restaurants and every sort of shop you could ever need. It's like a little city unto its own, as it once was, once upon a time. Here's Malta Park. So we're still in the section known as Little Malta here. We have the Maltese community of Toronto. Little plaque here. You can pause this and read if you're interested. If I can get the glare off of it. Nice little parkette. Kind of like how the shops here kind of veer off of the street. There's a shopping cart up for grabs. It even has some fruit in the bottom basket. This place is called High Park Nail Bar because we're not too far away from High Park. In the High Park neighborhood, that just lies to the south. So we're north of Bloor Street right now. Because at this point, Dundas Street crosses Bloor and veers north of Bloor for some distance. Whereas in most of the city, Dundas Street lies well south of Bloor Street. A bookshop here. It's always good to see. And a nice pizza place. So now the shops are starting to get a little bit more, I won't say upscale, but a little bit more in keeping with the current reputation of the neighborhood, which is somewhat yuppie. Most of the homes surrounding this neighborhood are very expensive, detached homes, with some attached housing as well. Sort of a mix. Man, this is interesting. Like an antique looking TV set here. And I actually have some of these VHS tapes in my own collection. And I've looked at this book before, Toronto Then and Now. And the neighborhoods around here are heavily treed. The definition of pleasant tree-lined residential streets. We're fully in the main retail stretch of the Junction now. And this extends for quite some distance. Up ahead is Keele Street, and that would be the heart of the neighborhood at Keele and Dundas. And you also have your fair share of chain restaurants. Here's High Park Avenue. And you guessed it, this will lead you right down to High Park. Snug as a bug. And of course the Gabby's. Every popular retail strip in the city has a Gabby's location. That's sort of like a running joke now on my channel. Food boutique. You can tell people have some money to spend when they have shops called Fine Food Emporium or Food Boutique. Those places are not cheap. Indian restaurant. Looks like a pet store will be replacing what was a place called the Sweet Potato. Wren's Pets coming soon. Carmelitas. Looks like a new development is going on this corner. I'm not too sure what used to be here. I'm going to have to look on Google Street View and go back in time, or look at one of my older videos when I walk through this neighborhood. It'd be strange if this was a block of old storefronts that was demolished. I wouldn't think that would be something that would go over very well in this neighborhood, so I'll definitely have to check out to see what was there. Most likely this will be a mid-rise development here on site. Residential with retail on the bottom floor. And unlike many of the popular retail strips in the city, this one does not have a streetcar line running along it. It did once upon a time, but unfortunately that was removed. So now buses are your only way to get down to the nearest subway station, which is Dundas West Station. That is one of the cutest little bikes I've ever seen. Fully electric. That is the tiniest electric bike. classic spinning barber pole. And another bookshop. And these outdoor patios won't be seeing much action for what's remaining of the year. I think we do have some warmer days coming up by this weekend, so we might actually have one last blast of patio weather. And here is Keele and Dundas, the heart of the neighborhood. And Keele Street is an extremely busy street here. Good luck if you're trying to cross the street not at a signalized intersection. I said earlier that Dundas West Station was the closest subway station. Well, that wasn't exactly true. You could have walked straight south down to Bloor Street and come across a couple of subway stations that were probably a little bit closer than Dundas West was from that point. High Park Station, Keele Station. I rather like that building right on the corner. And the one on the other corner is quite nice as well. The Campbell block I can see here. 1888. So that tells you how far back the buildings on this street go. Some of them no doubt are older than that. That was back when this was not part of Toronto. First saloon since 1903. It's kind of funny because there was a period of time when the Junction was a dry neighborhood. There was a prohibition on alcohol sales in the neighborhood. And that lasted for quite some time. I think up until the 1990s. I'm not sure when it began. Lots of character in this old building. Henry's Variety is no more, though, unfortunately. And we got a guitar shop. Junction guitars. Puzzle Nerds. Toronto's only jigsaw puzzle boutique. Huh. Well, what do you know? For all of your puzzle needs. There you can see some of the homes around. Some of them are semi-detached, as I was mentioning, and some are fully detached, and a few row houses sprinkled in there amongst them. All of them are well over 100 years old, from the 19th century, late 19th or early 20th century. Another barbershop with a spinning pole on the inside. Hello. The guy was waving. And a new mid-rise development going up here. And this is pretty much where the retail strip peters out here. But Dundas Street does continue on. It veers to the south here. We were heading east for most of the walk, or southeast I would say, but here it veers more directly south. And it will cross Bloor Street, as I was mentioning earlier. And then it will veer east again, south of Bloor Street. So then it will go back to its more common configuration, which is Dundas running south of but parallel to Bloor. And here's where DuPont Street begins, heading east, and Annette Street begins here heading west. And Annette Street is itself a very attractive street to walk along. I have done a walk along Annette Street before. It was also last winter. And another mid-rise development going up here. And there's a GO train. The rail corridor lies just immediately across the street here. And the West Toronto Rail Path is also along there. It's a walking path and cycling path. So here you'll see trains for GO Transit, Via Rail, and the Up Express, all using that corridor. Now, this area of Dundas heading south is a little bit on the gritty side, admittedly. You got some of these nice old row house style homes here. There are a number of these old commercial buildings with what once were storefronts, but most of them no longer have any businesses operating in them, unfortunately. I imagine these were convenience stores and places of that nature at one time. I think this is a residential unit now. I think these have all been converted to residential uses too. And I found Kenneth Avenue. I totally forgot that this was here. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna have to tell Action Kid about that. And more old storefronts that are no longer stores. Some of these don't look even occupied at all now. I did say this was a bit of a gritty stretch here. I guess being across from a busy rail corridor might have that effect. It also has a bit of an industrial feel around here. I think, is this the first bus we've seen? This is the 40 Junction bus. That'll go down to Dundas West Station. And just as I say that, here comes another one. felt a raindrop. We were supposed to get rain in the afternoon, according to the forecast, and I suppose that's where we are right now. And here's a pedestrian crossing to go over the tracks to the adjacent neighborhood. The Junction and the Junction Triangle are two neighborhoods that lie next to one another. I'll just take a quick little trip up here to check out the view. Maybe we'll see a train or two pass. Let's hope I don't get rained on. And there's the CN Tower. And you can make out the Yorkville skyline. It's looking directly east. You can't see the financial district though, unfortunately. The building over here is blocking it. And here comes the train. Looks like a GO train. Actually, I'm wrong. It's the Up Express. Because I was just thinking, if it was a GO train, it would have stopped at that GO station right there. And it wasn't stopping. And then I was like, wait a second. So that's heading up to the airport. It'll make a stop at Weston. It stopped at Bloor, just to the south of here. And then one more stop at Weston, and then after that, it continues on to the airport. See a whole cluster of new developments over there. Multiple cranes. And new towers rising. That's at DuPont and Lansdowne. That area is a hotbed of construction right now. Let's go back down. Oh, maybe I can almost make out part of the financial district from here, actually. There you go. Too bad this camera doesn't have a zoom. The Pocket 2 does, but not this one. I can see First Canadian Place and Scotia Plaza. And the rain is starting to come down a little bit harder now. Now that we're getting closer to Bloor Street, some of these old storefronts are still being used for commercial purposes. It's a neat old warehouse building. And another closed sidewalk. They're unavoidable. There's a Freshco grocery store, and that's a new condo there. And behind it are the Crossways apartments. Those are older high-rises from the early 1970s, I believe. Looks like there'll be retail at the base of this new development as well. A nice older apartment building here. Pizza, burgers, and wraps. Jenny's Bar and Restaurant. And here is Dundas West Station. So I'll just walk us up to Bloor Street and I'll end the video there. And then I'll come back here and catch the subway back downtown. Streetcars and buses all come into the station here where you can transfer directly from the train onto another mode of public transportation. Here's Bloor Street. This is another busy commercial street that'll take you west past High Park into Bloor West Village and beyond. And then east will take you through many different neighborhoods heading into downtown. Fully walkable and bustling and urban the entire way. And just south is Roncesvalles Avenue, which is another busy commercial stretch. So hope you enjoyed the walk through the junction all the way down here to Dundas West subway station on this rather chilly, blustery autumn Wednesday. So leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the junction, which was once upon a time West Toronto. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And the recently enabled Super Thanks button is also right down below. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.